Alright, so got the car, still working on it. I think we're going to round this off right here because I was planning on originally, I was thinking maybe we should make the roof go all the way back and like a hatchback kind of thing, but I kind of like the bump. So you think we should just round it off and leave the bump?
It doesn't like have the bump in the movie.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, the car does. We can't see the back of the car very good in the pictures, right? Let's see the picture we have.
Wish we knew somebody who had a hearse.
Well, it had to be the right year hearse, right? See, if we look at the picture, which they probably can't see very good, if we look at the picture, see that bump right there over the fins? I think we can kind of replicate that by rounding that off.
Okay.
And then leaving the roof, rounding the roof off a little bit. What do you think?
Let's do it.
We're still going to have to figure out that back bumper. We took a little too much wood off on the back bumper. So we're going to have to think about what to do about that. To add some more back. I think we started with a chip, remember? And then we just kept taking wood off to smooth it out. And we kind of lost our bumper. Alright, get over here. You're going to have to get off the stool. You can't do it from there. You have to be in front of it. You got to work in the front. Alright, so we don't want to see our fins. We don't want to remove the fins. So we're going to take this carefully. We're going to just kind of gently. When we get close to the fins, we want to be super careful. We don't knock our fins off. That'd be bad, right? Glue them back on, I guess. But see, you almost hit the fin. I'm fighting you. Might move the finer side. Turn her over. Grab on. Turn her over. Switch to the finer side now.
The finer side won't rasp the fins.
Well, it will.
As much.
It's just slower, right? I can't decide. There's our groove here. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's see how that looks with the back. Winch will be there. I think it needs to be a little less round. See, it's got like a sticky out part?
Yeah.
Think we need to take more off, or we want to do it, leave it like that?
I think we need to add some more on.
Well, for the bumper, I mean this part.
I think we should take just a tiny bit more off.
Because it looks like it's still got a little too sharp, right? So I think we'll take that corner off some more with the fine side of this rasp. So grab on. We can take this down a little more. Careful next to our fins. You're fighting me. You're going to do this or what?
We're on the fine side.
I know we're on the fine. You're supposed to be on the fine side.
I'm trying to see what side you're on.
It's the only time you want to use your muscles when we're doing this. You're not helping this way at all. You're just making it hard for me to direct it, but you're not really pushing the rasp at all. You got to push.
I'm pushing now, right?
Take it easy. Yeah, but as soon as you start pushing, you go crazy. Wait. Slow down. Controlled movements. Gotta control the rasp. Otherwise, it'll just take off everything, right? The rasp is just a tool. It doesn't know where to cut. You gotta kind of tell it where to cut. I think that might work. I think it'll work. Let's see how that looks. Put our windshield or a roof on and look more like that. What do you think of that?
I think of that.
Yeah. Move it back a little bit. If we move the windshield back, there you go. Is that okay with the bump?
That's okay with
Or
the
you
bump.
think it's too much?
That's exactly the right bump.
You think it's okay? We've been lining our windshield up like that, our window, and that looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That's replicated.
All right, so we need to take this sharp edge right here off, but our fins are in the way. We're going to do that with sandpaper without doing our fins, hopefully, right?
Yep.
So we're going to fold this. Maybe. Maybe we'll fold that, right?
Yeah, maybe we're wrong.
All right, so we're going to get over here, and we're going to just take this corner here, like this. We're going to sand that sharp edge off without breaking our fins off.
Okay.
So, you're going to use your hands? Don't use your shirt, use your hands. No, that's the fin. The very first thing you started sanding was the fin. Like that. So take that and smooth that off without knocking our fins off, okay?
Okay.
With the corner, like I just did. I was just using a corner. What are we doing? Right here.
Wow.
Come on. Focus on what we're doing. Pay attention. Don't knock our fins off. In there? Kind of off camera, but I don't know if I can fix that. You're in the corner of our camera. All right.
Pardon me.
You're still not using the thin part. You're still not using the part I told you to use. Here, we're only come here, get up here where I can see. All right, we're only sanding this line. We're not sanding this. That little corner right there, right there. That's why I showed you to sand this, right? Only sanding that. Only the one part. You got her, but you can't. You're getting down here. It's taking it hard because the more wood you try to remove with sandpaper, the longer it takes. You really want to remove just tiny bits because if you sand this whole thing flat, it'll take a long time, right? But if we're just trying to take this sharp corner off, it'll go real fast. That's pretty good. You think?
I think.
All right. And then our roof will go on like this. And I think if we round our roof over, we're about ready to glue our roof on, right? And then we'll just be down to sanding, I think, and working on our taillights and headlights. I still don't know about the bumper. Do you think we need to fix the bumper, or do you think we should just let her go?
I think we should either add wood or draw it on.
Well, we kind of got it drawn on already, right?
Yeah. We just need to put on some silver marker.
But it needs to be wider, I think. Like in these corners.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we can make it. We could just draw it on, I guess, with marker. Do you not want to add wood?
Let's not.
Okay, we can make it work. I can probably cut it in. Let me find my pencil. What we could do instead, you see this curve right here I already have? We can make it come in like this instead and use that outside curve as our outside line.
Yep.
And do it like that. And then we wouldn't have to add wood. And then we put our taillights in here. Maybe like that?
Yeah.
Okay, and this drops down. And then we'll have an ecto one here, right?
Yep. And on the front too.
Yeah. I saved this orange plastic because I thought that could be our marker lights.
Yep.
Thought that might make good marker lights, so we can cut our marker lights out of that. All right, so we need to make our headlights. So I think that's where we're at now, right? Making headlights.
Out of push pins.
So we have these push pins somewhere. Here's one. Oh, they got buried. I have these push pins, and the back part of this push pin is nice and rounded, but we have to cut it off. So I think what we did last time is we stabbed it into the side of the bench, if I recall, didn't we?
Yep.
Or a piece of wood or something. I guess we could put a piece of wood in the vise.
Yeah.
Maybe we wouldn't have to put all these holes in the bench. Let's get a piece of wood over here. Here we go. This'll work.
Hey, use that to elevate my wood block.
Clamp that in there, and then we can put this push pin in the block. And we used the jeweler's saw for that last time. Wherever that went. There it is. So we used this little jeweler's saw last time to cut the plastic because it didn't melt it so much. You could cut slow and keep it from melting. Remember, if you get plastic hot, it melts and it'll stick to your blade. And that ain't gonna do us no good. Alright, so tighten this up. Alright, so can you cut this? Right there, just cut right behind it. You gotta get in front of the saw. Saws work here. You gotta be in the right direction. You're trying to use saw sideways. You can't do sideways. You gotta do that way. Cut her out and don't lose that piece. We need 4 of those, right?
What do I do when I start hitting metal?
You should hit metal. The metal doesn't go up that far.
Ah.
Shouldn't be no metal. We hit metal last time because we tried to use the bottom part. But this time we're using the top part because they're much smaller. When it falls off there, don't lose it. You almost you can see how far you get a little way. You're getting there. Keep going. Don't break the blade. Letting the blade fly back, that's going to break it. Dum dum dum. Now we'll have to cut 5 of them. There it is. Right
there.
There. I missed it. All right. 1. Bring it up here. Right there so they can see it too. It's not a very big piece, so it's going to be very easy to lose. But it's a little tiny piece, and if we sand that cut part off, it'll look like a rounded headlight a little bit. And that's what we did last time, right? So we need to cut
Yeah, it won't come out of the
4 of those. Well, you might need pliers because you took off the grippy end part.
Yeah, the grippy grip.
So let me get a pair of pliers and we'll yank that out of there and then you can put another one in and try again. Just keep cutting them until we get all 4 of the ones we need. Let's see, pair of pliers. It'll work. It'll work. Alright, see if you can yank it out of there.
Hopefully without destroying it.
No, we can just throw it. It's a push pin, man. We can buy more.
I was like trying not to destroy it so I didn't stab myself.
Oh, okay. So So we'll keep that. Maybe use it in the shop to push pin things on. Can you get it? Same hole? Okay.
Same hole?
That hole might get wobbly. If it does, you can make a new hole, okay?
Okay.
You
Same
can
hole,
do
same
that
hole.
4 times. I need to put these somewhere we don't lose them because they're tiny. Hard to pick up.
This one I have my hand under.
Okay.
I'm making music.
Yeah, it's squeaking a little, isn't it? Got a little squeak in it.
I've got quite a ways to go.
Yep. Keep an eye on it. See it drop all on the floor.
You can use it sideways.
Yeah, but it works better if you use it right.
Oh no, we're about to get loose.
Man, these things are tiny. It's easier to work on the bigger ones, bud. They keep dropping it.
Then stop holding it.
Well, I gotta hold it to work on it, I think. Alright? Bring it over and put it on the paper. Yeah, we don't lose it, right? I've polished these, but I don't think I can hold them good enough to polish them. Just have to go with it.
I just made a headlight without your help.
Yeah? You want to use the tools.
Yeah, yeah. So satisfying.
There we go. Well, just keep on working.
You didn't break it.
We get more blades if you break it, but
It
yeah.
just started bouncing a little bit, so I stopped. It's kind of like a guitar string, though.
A little bit, with teeth on it. Hey, quit goofing off and do your job there. You're goofing off, man. We need 4 of those.
I'm hitting the push pin with my saw thingy.
That'll break it off. Be careful.
Punching a push pin.
Hey, you're being silly. You focus what you're doing. Working, right? Working, not goofing off, bud. I'm wondering if we could just sand these corners off on the roof, or if we're going to have to shape it. We'll have to see what the lightly sanding looks like compared to just a sharp corner.
One more.
It kind of needs to match the contours of the car. I don't know. What do you think? Just lightly sanding the corners?
Yeah,
They
I like
can't-
the sand on.
They can't see that, but on this corner here, I just lightly sanded it and took the sharp edge off, and I think that might work. Maybe we'll just lightly sand it and not have to shape it with a rasp.
See if I'm on camera?
I think you're barely on camera. You're on the bottom corner. You want me to move the camera over?
Yeah.
You only got one more to cut.
But I wanted to show them the whole process.
All right. Let me see if I can center you on the camera. There you go.
Okay, so now I'm going to try to repeat the process. This is how you're going to get them out.
That's how you get them out.
Yeah.
So we cut the head off, right?
Yep, you cut the goopy part off. Now you can't grab them. And you replace it with another. You make sure you don't want to get only one push pin. You want to get 8. So in case you mess up or lose
Yeah,
one.
we got plenty in case we mess one up,
And
right?
we're cutting off this little part here. You're going to rest your blade, butt it up against that, and saw. It's starting to get loose in my hole. And when you first get a hole in there, you'll need to use pliers. With the last headlight you make, you'll just be able to grab it by hand without the top. And don't drill your hole with a power drill. Instead, just push the pin right in there. I think we should use these push pins for headlights again.
Again? Like next time you need
Yeah,
it?
next time.
They work pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish we could polish them again so they'd be nice and shiny because it leaves a cut little flat end on them.
Yeah.
That, alright.
And at least we got the clear ones so they look like headlights.
And I'd like to be able to polish them again, but I don't, I mean, I got a Dremel tool, but I don't think I could hold it while I polished them.
Yeah.
It's too much. They could just fly out across the shop and we'd lose them. You have to cut a million of them because they keep flying across the shop.
Evil grin. If only they were made of metal, then we could use a metal detector.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, there it is. I dropped one.
Losing them. Don't lose them.
2 more to polish. Meanwhile, pop. See what I mean about your fingers?
You want to cut one more just in case we drop one?
Yeah, cut one more. And we also need some for the turn signals, right?
I don't know. Are we going to use the same size lights in the bottom? We can for the bumper. You can cut 2 more, 3 more, or whatever.
Oh yeah. Can we use the taillights are kind of blackish clearish, so I was wondering if we could use the big part to use for the
We
taillights.
could, and just take the pin out and then blacken it maybe?
Yeah, blacken it a little bit.
We could do that maybe with a marker.
Yeah, I think I'll try to cut it.
Yeah, if you put it back in, the ones you already cut off,
Yeah.
you can put them back in and cut the big parts off too.
Ah, then I can reuse.
Oh, yeah?
Reuse, recycle.
And then we can use those, the other
whatever
parts,
it
and see if we
is.
can use those.
Reuse, recycle. I forgot what the last thing is.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Okay, reduce, reuse, recycle. We're on the second one, reuse. And then we just recycle what we don't need. When we're already doing something better for the planet. I'm gonna have to poke a new hole.
Yeah, getting too sloppy?
Yeah. The hole only works about 4 times.
Yeah, it'll wobble out.
I'm hammering it in like a nail.
I don't know if we need to go in that hard, but alright.
I'm using a pliers and I'm tapping it lightly now. Wait, will this thing go through metal?
You don't want to do too much, it will cut through metal, but when you get to the pen, remember last time we cut all the way around?
Yeah.
And then we just pushed the nail out, so are you back right? So make sure you leave us enough headlight. You should probably be a little farther. So we can sand off the nub.
I already cut off
Well, you can start again. We have more.
a slit.
So what I would do is I would cut it right, see where you're buttoned up against here, and move out to about there, just a little bit,
Okay,
and then we can sand that off.
Can you get me a notch?
Yeah, let me get it started, so we get this in the hole.
Okay, we'll be able to reuse this one for a headlight. For a big headlight, maybe.
So here's where I think you ought to cut it. See, if you feel, come here, if you feel with the blade right there is where you're cutting it, because that's where it butts up, but I would move out just about a blade's width from that. And then we can just sand that flat.
Okay, I'm gonna cut on the notch. Now I'm butting up against the wood because I'm holding my saw crooked. Oh yeah, we don't want to use this clear nub because we might want to use this clear nub later.
I don't know if we need that. That's probably getting a little too crazy with saving stuff there. I want to keep garbage, right? I'm going to run out of space if we keep everything.
Frick. Dum.
You know where they are?
No.
The bottom drawer. Oh, look. So the blades come in a little tube like this, and they're really tiny. So we need to shake one out.
They're like, you can play them.
Well, you don't want to break them.
They're
So here's the
so
blade. I got one out.
tiny.
Are you paying attention? I'll put it right there so we don't lose them on the bench.
Okay.
And I probably got these more than finger tight, right? All right, so we're going to loosen all 3. This one too. So what happens is we'll let this slide a little bit. Close it up. And then when we loosen these, our blade will come out. And then you need to line the blade up
I need to get the teeth.
in that groove. Yeah, figure out where the teeth are. You want teeth down or teeth up so you can cut. And you're also a directional teeth, but we don't need to worry about that. I think it'll work regardless. Right there.
How do you count the teeth on one of these blades?
I don't count the teeth on these blades. Someone else does. All right. So see if you can get that in the other one. Here, see if you can get it in that clamp there. And get in there.
Yep.
Turn the knob so it's tight. Oh, you knocked it out.
Full tap.
Loose it again. Turn it without knocking the blade out.
And without breaking it again.
And then remember, this one tightens it. See how we got this? See how this big curve? We don't want that. So we're going to take this, we're going to put our thumb on this little brass bit, and we're going to put just a little bit of pressure there, and then we're going to tighten it so that pressure stays on.
Okay, let's cut this, man. 2, 3 aren't polished.
Yeah, I'll say we'll polish them here. Can you polish them without dropping them?
Probably not.
Well, you can try. You need this 220 paper here. If you need to move the camera, you're going to try to work over there without dropping them.
I'm thinking I might be able to try to lock them in the vise.
I don't think you'll be able to get them in the vise. They're too small.
Sanding. Oh!
We'll drop them.
I literally flipped it. Sanding. Ah, this is so hard. Sanding. They keep on flipping over.
Yeah, it's not a lot to hold on to. Your fingers are smaller than mine, though.
Sanding. Good enough.
So, I'm done with that saw.
Okay, another, and here's our spare.
And you were going to just draw the grill on, right? The grill part's on?
Yeah.
Okay. Get it. All these push pins out of my way.
I'm gonna see how much our headlights and stuff weigh.
I don't know if we need to weigh them right now.
I want to.
All right.
If I can get this one off of the thingy without dropping it.
What about these marker lights on the bumper? Are we going to still put lights in that too?
Yeah, we're gonna put those on.
Well, then we're going to need more of them. Let's see how big they are. Let me see if I can get one of these without dropping it. The bumper lights go right here. Yeah, they'll fit. We need to probably drill holes for them. You think?
Yeah.
In the bumper? The headlights I think go right on the surface.
Got 0 ounces.
I think we got to paint the car first though. What do you think?
39.
Because otherwise how are we going to paint it when we put headlights on it? So I think we're going to need 2 more of the little ones so we can put them in this bumper.
0.2 ounces.
Not a lot, right?
0.02 ounces.
So I think we need 2 more.
You're making my scale go wonky. Yeah, 0.02 ounces.
You've got 2 more, and then we can put them in the bumper too. And then we got to think about taillights. What are we going to use for taillights?
What I just made for taillights.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We're going to use those. Then we got marker lights that are going to be orange. So I think what we need to do is we need to figure out what size
My stuff.
our lights are. So hand me the taillights if you're done playing with the scale.
I'm not playing. I'm trying to grab them.
Because what we need to do is we need to make our hole. We need to drill a hole, right?
And drop the little one.
Are you listening or are you just over there playing with the scale?
I'm not playing.
I think you're playing, but okay. So we need to drill a hole the same size as these because I think these are supposed to be inset into the bumper, right? So let's see if we can measure what size pin this is. Do you know where the calipers are?
Oh, yeah. Come on, measure
We
my
got-
way out.
I think it's in the bottom drawer. We're going to use these. We got better dial calipers. You coming over or what? Dude,
We got 40.
Will you get over here?
40 grit.
so we're going to measure this. So what we end up with is we're going to put it in there, and that's what size it is. And see these measurements right here?
Yep.
So that measure would be 1/4 inch, and that measure would be 3/8, and we're right about in between. So let's go see if we have a drill bit. No, we're just a little bit bigger than 1/4 inch. All right, so we can't use 1/4 inch
So
one.
why are we drilling giant holes for these taillights?
So they inset. So they go inside the bumper, not on top, right?
And then we're gonna color it red.
So yeah, 5/16 is probably about right. So we'll use a 5/16 drill bit, and I think we'll draw a circle, and we'll drill these straight down, like this.
Okay.
That's right on our glue seam, though. See this glue seam?
Yeah.
So we gotta be careful to drill real slow, so we don't pop our wood off.
Okay, I'll go get my egg.
You know where it is?
Yep, it's on the bottom drawer.
Now remember, we can't push down very fast. We want to go drill real slow.
Okay.
And we're not going to go very deep, because if we drill fast, so grab your handle here. Hold on, let me get it straight and lined up. Okay, you're wobbling all over the place. You got to keep the drill straight now. That's what this hand's for. This hand's to hold it straight, and that hand's to turn the handle.
Thanks for keeping it out of gear.
Okay, hold on. Oh, no.
The bit's getting crooked.
It is crooked. I think it's threaded in here.
Wonky.
I think it's crooked.
And I think that's enough inset.
Well, it has to go down, so we'll have to see. Yeah, something.
You got to be able to color in here, remember?
I think our teeth are crooked in here.
Well, this chuck might fit it.
We need to get us a good chuck for this. Yeah, it seems like it wants to stay crooked.
Well, heck, this chuck holds this bit.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit on our drill, so it doesn't really make a bit of difference.
I think this might be a Hitachi chuck.
It doesn't make much difference because it doesn't fit our drill. We need to be able to fit our drill, right? Like that. Alright, so turn the handle.
Okay. Hey, it works. Until
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going slow, okay?
Well, we just need to turn it at this point.
Okay, I'm turning it. I'm providing motion. I'm an engine.
Without going crazy. Because every time you go crazy, you pull it sideways. So when you get down here, what you're doing is you're pulling sideways. It doesn't go sideways, it goes in a circle. You gotta make a circular motion with your hand because it's a circle you're trying to make, right? You're trying to make a circle.
I'm using like some leverage off of the chuck holder.
Are you goofing off? You're gonna drill it. Let's go.
Oh, I'll get my hand sucked in the gears to drill this if I had to.
You could just drill the hole.
So
We can try the bigger one. You think the bigger one has more leverage?
Yeah, I think it might have a little
let's
more
get the bigger
leverage. Yeah, this is the leverage I'm talking about.
You said yeah before you even turned it.
This is the leverage I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, man.
Okay, well you're wiggling a lot, so go circling. I'm having to really hold this thing. All right, let's see what we got.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to really hold this thing because when you move the handle, you're doing all of this to really hold it. So let's see how deep. Yeah, tail light.
This is the one you.
I think we should go down just a hair farther. What do you think?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you got to hold this straight. You can't do this. This handle turns in a circle.
Hey,
But see when it gets stuck? What happens when you get stuck? What'd you do?
I pulled and pushed.
You pulled it. When it gets
Yes.
stuck, you're doing this. You can't do that. You got to hold it straight and turn this in a circle, not flat.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Gregor. Gregor.
Gravity's on my side.
So you got to hold it straight.
It's working.
Right. And as soon as you lean like this, it'll break out parts. You got to keep it nice and straight. There you go. We just got to do that. All right. Gonna do the other tail light?
Or we can try to.
You can try. Do the other tail light. Get back in there so we can put our car in it.
We've already had to glue something back on.
Well, it's a car made out of wood. I think we're going to glue lots of stuff on it, so it's probably okay.
We're also going to use a lot of wood filler, right?
Probably, yeah. Let me get her started here.
Wood cranks. The egg beater drills are hard. I prefer bit and brace. Gives them more leverage.
Well, yeah, but they're harder to keep straight. All right.
I thought an egg beater drill was harder to keep straight.
Well, you have to keep both of them straight. I'll see if I can hold it straight. Picking up again. You got to turn the handle in a circle. It only goes in a circle. Now look what happened. You pulled it completely out of the wood that time. That's probably deep enough.
That's probably deeper.
No, well, we need to get this one deeper too. So, all right. Put our cap on our glue.
Yeah, cap. What's it?
Cap on the glue.
I thought you told me to do it.
Well, I didn't think you would do it. I think that one's deep enough, so we stuck our push pin here, and that's going to put our taillight inside the hole like that,
Inside the
which I think will look pretty cool.
But
We need to drill the other one a little bigger once the glue dries.
first we need to dribble some red paint in there.
Well, we're going to put paint in it too. That's why we need it to be a little deeper, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the woodworker's vice. You gotta unlock it and pull.
Well, it's just that style. There's a bunch of different kinds. That's just the kind I have.
We have a vise on the other side of the bench, so we could do a video about how the vise works.
Could. I don't know if that'd be very interesting, but we could. Alright, I'm going to hang up this drill because you keep putting it over here, you're going to lose all our lights. We need to find a tin to put our lights in so we don't lose them, you reckon?
Oh, I know where to find a good tin.
Well, why don't you focus on what you're doing for now?
Okay, we can use this plastic tins from the scale.
No, those go with the scale. How about we use one of these empty tea cans?
I have a pocket change dish.
How about we just use an empty tea can?
Okay. Ah, dang it. I wasn't focusing.
You're goofing off.
I gotta get that hanging out so I can put things on it. Yeah!
Alright, headlights.
Yeah! Alright, that's in there nice and good.
Taillight. We're missing a taillight. There it is.
Boop, boop. This is our practice hole in it.
Alright. So you're going to cut that?
Yep, I'm cutting this. Ah, that's not straight. And I'll store my other one in this hole you drilled. Like that.
You know, I probably should have used super glue on that bumper piece, and then we'd be able to drill it right now, huh? Alright, you got the saw?
Here. There. Oh, there it is. We have another driller saw, so if I lose your saw, the small part, right?
We only have one driller saw. Yeah, we need a small part.
Okay. I must have been looking at a wood-handled coping saw.
We have a coping saw. We only got one driller saw. So.
It had a wood handle like this jeweler saw. And I almost thought...
Coping saw.
And I almost thought... And now I think, hey, matching coping saw. They must have been a set. I mean, it seems like you want the saws to match. It has the same basic frame, but only one's higher. This hole is wobbly and I've only used it once. There we go. I will sand this up real quick with some, what is it now?
220, I think.
I'm going to see if they can read that.
I don't know if they can. Pretty small.
Tell me in the comments if that's upside down.
I don't know if anybody ever comments on the videos. You know that,
Okay.
right?
Well, it's 220 whichever way you read it. Gator is the brand.
Yeah, I have trouble finding good sandpaper. Doesn't seem like it'd be that hard, but good sandpaper's hard to find.
38M.
3M's okay, I guess. Alright. You doing it or what?
I'm sanding this one.
Alright.
Sanding's part of the work too.
Yeah, a lot of sanding required, right?
It's not just the cutting, it's the sanding.
A lot of sanding required on one of these.
Ooh, what's in the treasure box? Files?
Chisels.
Ah. It's a quality set of chisels. Those are great grandpa's, right?
Yep.
Great grandpa's chisels.
Well, now that I talked about them, they can't see them, so. Chisels. I gotta be able to see them, otherwise they're gonna be like, what in the world? Chisels. I'm just gonna try to fix this taillight we busted out.
And there must be a good brand since they've lasted this long.
I don't think they are that good of brands. They're just a cheaper brand, but they take care of tools. They last a long time, right?
They're
Miller's Falls.
Miller's Falls.
It's not a very good brand, like an expensive brand.
It's not like a Craftsman.
No, I think they're about the same quality as a Craftsman would be, but
And Craftsman's pretty good quality.
these are the ones we have.
I mean, Craftsman is just like a high-end tool, but not a high-end tool.
Yeah, it's not terribly high-end, but it works.
Yeah, it works.
Take care of your tools, they'll last a long time.
I wonder what brand this coping saw is.
I have no idea.
Radiance.
Yeah, I have no idea. Don't even know where I got it.
Probably at a flea market.
Maybe. Ugh.
I've broken about 5 blades in the entire time I've known how to use this saw.
Yeah, they break pretty easy. You gotta be very careful with those.
I thought I'd only have to break 1.
Well, you get a little crazy, you saw a little too fast, you hit something hard, they break. They're really fragile blades, so.
Wonder if it's possible to cut wood with wood.
It'd have to be harder wood.
You could probably cut pine with oak, right?
Maybe if you had a good hard chunk of oak, you have to cut some kind of a weird groove in it or teeth into it, but it still wouldn't work as good as metal.
Big old oak stump would probably cut a pine.
I doubt it. Alright.
Is balsa wood easier to cut?
Yep, it's a softer wood.
I bet oak would probably cut it.
You might. I think you'd still be better off with metal. Cutting wood with wood is kind of
Hey,
silly.
found it. Yeah. There it is. It kind of blends in with the concrete because it's clear. You'll never see it again. I'm going to use some of this part where it was latched onto the sanding block. Never used pot. But this spot is smoother and we want it smooth.
Okay.
Okay, good enough. As we say in the trade.
The trade? You're in the trade now, the car building trade, are you?
Bonds to skin in 14 seconds.
Yeah, it'll glue
No
your...
wonder I had that stuck on my finger for 10 days.
It'll glue your fingers good if you ain't careful.
I glued a piece of foam on my finger before because of that. I was trying to glue a tire back on an old-fashioned slot car, and I ended up gluing the tire to my finger instead of the rim.
Alright. We'll see if this has any glue in it. This might be too clogged
It's got
up.
just a tiny bit left.
Might be too clogged up to come out of the nozzle, though. I have to take the cap off.
Dum, dum, dum. That's a good way to get your fingers covered in it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
I think it was all over my thumb, and I was like picking at it, and I hadn't stopped picking at it for days.
We're using glue, super glue. So settle down.
Okay, I'm gonna cover my eyes.
I'm gonna cover your eyes.
Hey, in case it just goes.
Well, it's not gonna do that unless you do silly, crazy stuff like flop around.
Or squeeze the bottle till it pops.
Mostly just flop around, but you need to settle down.
Although the bottle just exploding is kind of funny when you think about it.
Okay, so we have the wax paper left over from our tape.
Yep, that should do
And
it.
we're going to take that and we're just going to smooth it out a little bit. Like that. Don't want a big drip or nothing on it. To dry kind of smooth, right?
Yep.
That should be alright. And I think what we need to do is we need to make a mat.
Like
So I think we
it
need to take a
never
little bit more. I think we need to fill this up. We need a combination. We need a little more on this side and take a little off that side. You reckon?
Yeah.
We're going to put a coat of paint on it first, and then we'll be able to see all the parts we need to fill, and then we'll paint it again after we fill it.
A coat of paint, wood filler, another coat of paint. Add the stickers, done.
We need to make stickers still.
Yep. Dad does have like a picture for the sticker on his phone though.
Yeah, we need to make those still. So I'm going to put this in the vise so we don't have to hold the car and get stabbed in the fingers. So I'll put this in the vise. Move it so I can move the vise. Can't work the vise. We're in the road. Alright. So this doesn't take much strength. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that little tiny sharp point at the bottom. You see what the part's at the bottom? See what part's at the bottom?
Yeah, I see.
And we're going to put it right on our line, and we're going to push. And the angle matters. So once you get the right angle, you'll feel it grip. You'll feel it grip. Well, we want to take it off really slow. So you don't want to like jam it in there. You want to take it off really slow. Okay. So come over here. Get on the stool. Get on the step for real. On your feet. Okay. On your feet.
This is going to be hard because it makes me really tall.
Come over this way. You want to be above the chisel so you can push your body into it a little bit. You want to push. Like that. Oops. And then you can angle it down like this. See how we started going too deep?
Yeah.
So angle it up a little bit if we're going too deep. And then, yeah. Alright, that's a start. And the reason I wanted to get this start is because we have files that will do this. Because we've been using files and rasp for the whole job, right?
Yep. Files and rasp. And same
You have...
Can I take this over to show you what the grit looks like?
Yes. Find them.
And if you've been wondering, this is basically what grit looks like, but only it's been enlarged because this is 40 grit. Or 40D, or whatever.
Alright, so here we got. We have these bent files. And this is a tool most people won't have.
And it comes in a handy little bag.
Well, somebody made the bag for it.
Sure looks torn.
Well, it's been around for a while.
Yep.
So see how they're all curved?
Yep.
I don't know if they can see that. I might have it too far forward.
It's
I'll
like
bring
a
them
big
out.
bunch of dentist tools.
Kind of. So what happens is the files are curved. I don't know if they can see that or not and get it in the film.
It looks like a pitchfork without
So it's
tines.
basically a bent file, and they're really small, and these work for getting into flat things like this.
I see why it's curved.
That way you don't take this part off, right?
It's like a double-ended fork with no tines.
And that should allow us to scrape this wood down nice and flat. And cut our groove in without busting out our tail light.
Again.
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 Alright, so we're going to do the
Thank
other
me
side?
for that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So what does the other side of the file do? Is it like sharper? Is it
It's
duller?
just a different size, different grit, different size. Okay, so what you're going to do, you want to make sure it doesn't get down into your tail light. You probably have, you have to be on the stool. You got to be above the tools.
It's like, it makes me like feel...
Well, you got to be high enough. So grab on the file
I'm literally the same height as you.
and put your finger, your thumb. I like my finger to be on the front so I can control it. So wrap this thing around. Your thumb can go around like that. And you're just going to take this and you're going to push. It doesn't take much, right?
Yeah.
You feel it cutting?
Yeah.
It's not going to do it all at once. It's a very slow...
It's kind of like rubbing your teeth on an apple.
Kind of. You're just wearing it away, right?
Yeah.
Just going to kind of worry it away.
If you have braces and you know what I mean. You're like afraid that you're going to snap a wire, so you're like just nibbling away.
Let's see how we look.
Look.
What do you think?
That looks almost like a little trunk sign on the Falcon almost.
A little bit. The round tail lights are going to make it look kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
So we just want to keep doing that and smooth it out.
Galaxy 5Os, I think, have those same taillights.
Yeah, the Galaxy 500s have them. All right, so we'll do that. Let me finish trimming this one up here.
With the...
Sloyd.
Yeah, the Sloyd. I'm just going to call it the razor thingy. Because I like to.
Well, Sloyd is the guy's name.
Oh.
He used to teach woodworking, and there's a whole book. Whole book written by him on how to do woodworking.
I'm probably going to like, get that book.
I don't know if you can find them very easily anymore. Okay, so we'll do that.
But if I can't find his book, I'm gonna write one myself and refresh everyone on the world of woodworking.
Yeah, you gonna write about woodworking?
Yep. With a little bit of metalworking in there, like how to make blades and sharpen blades and stuff too.
Well, you gotta be able to sharpen your tools, right?
Yeah. So, and sometimes you need to like make blades too.
I like the blacksmith, so I think we can this summer maybe we should blacksmith some stuff.
And
All right,
probably
we got
won't
this.
be able to video with it because cameras aren't fire resistant.
We got this curve here,
Yeah.
and we have curved ones also. So see if I can see that
look
one.
a lot like dentist tools.
Kind of. It's a little bit of a rounded
like the
bit.
Dremel ends.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a rounded bit, and that allows us to come in here and knock out this part.
Or if you're a woodworker, it's a rat tail file.
And it's a very slow process. And the nice thing about being a slow process is it's hard to mess up because you'd have to go in one spot a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you can probably shape some of this stuff yourself. So I'm just rounding everything over. So let's see if we can go around this taillight. So grab this, and you want to take it files on the tip and on the side, so you can come around here, and you can kind of push in there, and we want to just cut around that circle. See the circle I drew on the pencil? You got to get your hand closer than that.
I'm going to step down and see if it's easier.
All right. I think you need the leverage for your weight, but this doesn't look quite like that one because we haven't cut that groove yet. We might file that groove in though, because when I cut it with the knife, it didn't work all that well. So we might go ahead and file that in too. Because the files are easy to use, right? Fit your hands good and they work good, right? Kind of slower, but we got time.
Plenty of it.
Okay, don't knock our fin off though. That's a bad thing. You don't want to do that. All right, so we need to still...
That groove down.
Watch your fingers real quick. We need to knock this corner here off so our taillight looks roundish.
Really does look like a Dremel thingy.
So I'm just going to wiggle the chisel in there a little bit. A little bit more than that, I guess.
Since it's a very curvy car, there's a lot of standing and filing and
Yeah,
chiseling.
we kind of made the job hard on ourselves, didn't we?
Maybe if we do a Falcon next year, it won't have enough.
It'll be a little boxier, you think?
Yeah. And probably not as boxy as a square body Chevy, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so what we need to do, I need you to take this file and go around that circle I made like this.
Okay.
A little bit at a time, okay? And file really nicely. You don't want to take any off the top. You want to take right down the bottom of it.
Okay.
So we need to take off this part right here. Knock it down there. Right around that tail light. Goes forward and backward like a saw. It'll cut that way, but yeah, it'll cut faster that way. So you can kind of control how deep your cut is and how fast it cuts by which way you move it. But yeah, just polish her up and knock her out. And we still need a place for a license plate, because you said it has to have a license plate on the back, right?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll have to think about that too. Keep that in mind too. Keep that in mind as well.
Most people don't have to do that much. All they have to do is like cut out a little sliver.
Well, what do you mean? Oh, when they build the cars?
Yeah, like
Well,
the
it
wedge
depends.
shapes.
We could just build a simple car if you wanted.
Yeah, but I like these more complex ones.
Right. I like to build, I mean, I want it to be a challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people just build a simple car just to go fast. We can do that. We don't have to build the hard cars every time, man. It is perfectly acceptable to build a simple car. I heard that a couple of years ago someone just raced the block. Like they didn't do anything. They just put the wheels on it, painted it, and ran it down the track.
It's almost like a Q-tip.
Kind of. Just has a little file edge on it, right?
It's pretty good.
That's what we got. Alright, so what we need now is we need a license plate.
Well, that'll probably be able to draw that on.
Well, you want to cut a notch for it to go in, or you just want to draw it on the surface?
I think we'll draw a little notch. What?
Because we want it to go right here, right?
Yeah.
So what I was thinking we could do, we could draw this here, and then we could take that out with a little chisel.
Yeah.
Because you know how to use the mallet and the chisel, right?
Yeah.
So we could take that out, and then when we draw the license plate in, it could go in there.
Yeah.
You got a chisel? Alright. You hold it and I'll tap.
Okay.
Alright, so you always want the bevel towards your waist wood,
Okay.
because you want a nice straight line.
Yeah.
So you hold her. We're down a little bit. We're down a little bit more. I'm going to do the other side. And then this will come in here. That. Okay, we got to turn chisel. You're fighting me here. Bevel towards the inside, right? Alright, and this is end grain too. It would be easier to cut this if it was not in the end grain, but it's not. We're in the end grain, and that makes it hard because you got to cut all those little fibers off.
Yeah.
When you're on the flat, you can just peel them off like we did this. Remember we were peeling that out?
Yeah.
The wood just peeled right out. This isn't going to do that because we're in the end grain, so we want to be careful here. Good enough?
Good enough.
So I think that's the back of our car. When you put our taillights in still, the original car had little tiny red lights up here.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any red plastic for that.
We'll probably just be able to dauber them on with a marker.
Maybe. Paint them on?
Yeah.
We could do that. And then we're going to have to paint it white. And then we'll have to paint the red parts because some of this is red.
Yeah, we'll probably paint it white before we dauber on the taillights on the fins.
Oh yeah, we got to do, I think we got to paint the whole thing before we put the headlights in and whatnot.
Yeah.
We still need to make holes here
Yep.
for those lights so they don't sit on the surface. But well, I think we're ready to think about gluing the roof on and painting it. You want to weigh it real quick?
Yeah.
Let's get all our parts. Put our scale over here. So turn our scale on. Those are the lights. We're going to need all those.
Okay.
We need the wheels. And remember, the paint's going to weigh something, right?
Yeah. Probably gonna be like maybe 4 tenths.
Well, we still got places we can take weight off, so it's
Yeah.
not a big deal. We got lots of car to work with still.
Yeah.
So we're not in trouble by any means. Lots of room to remove some cars still. The roof on. All right, give me the lights. You know what? We probably ought to chuck those in there too so they don't get lost. That's all of them, right?
Yep.
Dump those in there too. Those add a little bit of weight. They're not very big, but
And the roof.
on the roof,
The
we're
car,
at 4.76 ounces.
It holds its own parts.
4.76. We got to beat 5, so we got to paint it, and we'll have to see. We might have to remove some more weight after we paint it.
Yeah.
Depends on how much the paint weighs.
Yeah.
And you still want to put a roof rack or bottles and stuff on there,
Yeah.
right? We can make the bottles out of foam, I think, though,
Yeah.
which won't weigh much.
Yeah.
Rather than using like metal to be heavy.
Yeah.
So we can use something really light to make those. I
Maybe,
think I have some backer rod for like insulation backer rod. That might work. And that'd be pretty light.
Yeah.
So we'll have to think about it. Styrofoam parts or something put on top.
Yeah, maybe even some balsa.
Yeah, I don't have any balsa wood, but we could probably find some to use.
Yep.
All right, so let's put our tools away.
Mhm.
And then we can work on gluing the roof on, which is going to have to take overnight to dry.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and glue the roof on. I think that we're good to glue the roof on, right?
Yep. I'm gonna put this chisel away.
Okay, you know where it goes?
Yep. Do these have to go in any specific hole?
Nope, I just put them in a hole over there so I don't lose them.
I'm just gonna drop it in a random hole. Whichever hole I
Yep.
have it hovering over.
All right, we'll put our chisel and stuff away, and then we'll get some glue and we'll glue this roof on. Okay. So we've added glue, and it's not dry yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to give it a once over and make sure all of our seams where the roof is supposed to go. Is the roof back far enough?
Yep.
Look, the back of our car is a little crooked, but that'll be
Yeah.
fine. Look good and straight.
Looks good and straight.
All right. So we could have probably made this straighter, but I think we'll leave it.
Yeah.
It'll just look like it's a little crooked.
Yep.
Be fine. No one's going to look that close.
Yeah.
So all we got to do now is make sure our clamp's a little snug and just let it dry overnight. And then we can paint it. Maybe add a little putty. I don't think we need putty on this windshield. That's it, a little dent. I think we'll leave it. We need putty here. Well, not there. Here. A little bit there.
Yep.
Maybe a little putty to fill this out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then we'll be done.
Yeah.
Put some paint on it. I think we'll, instead of, because when I lean it, it might slide. I
Yeah.
think we'll just stick this here in this vise like this. For it to dry.
Yep.
We'll come back tomorrow. And it should be dry. Or even later today. If it's dry enough. I didn't put that much glue on it. And then I think we'll be ready to spray paint the thing. I think these are good enough. Or you think we'd round them more?
I think those are pretty good.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready for paint then.